Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very excited for today's video because it is going to be my February recap for my makeup rehab series, which has really just turned into the video where I share with you guys all of the makeup and beauty that came into my collection last month versus all of the makeup empties that I had the previous month. So I have a few PR products to share with you guys today. I have a few what I call other beauty products. So I have a hair dye to share, wave spray, and a couple of other things. We have my eyeshadow palettes that came in this month and then some makeup as well. I did post like a good old-fashioned makeup haul, so a lot of this is going to be repeats to that video, but there's a few other things that I have to share with you guys today. So if you're interested, stay tuned. First, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and do all of the YouTube things that I know you know how to do. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Okay, this happens to me when I film at this time of day. The sun is like coming in through this window, so like if my lighting is off, I apologize, but I need to get this video filmed. Okay, I like to structure my videos where I start talking about PR first, I then move on to other beauty, eyeshadow palettes, makeup products that I purchased, and then empties. There will be so much information in the description box down below, links to all of these products. I keep track of how many eyeshadow palettes I brought in this month and then my year-to-date numbers or year-to-date totals. Same thing with makeup purchases and empties. So if you're looking for more data down below, go check it out. Let's start with PR. I did receive one package from Bare Minerals this month, and I got 2 of their Complexion Rescue tinted moisturizers. So we have the original Complexion Rescue tinted moisturizer, and then we have the Complexion Rescue Natural Matte tinted moisturizer. This used to be an absolute staple in my collection. I probably went through 3 of these in the past, so I'm really excited to try this several years later and see what I think of it. I do have a trip to Florida at the end of this month, which I'm really excited about, so potentially I will be bringing this with me. I haven't opened either of these yet to test them out. Both of them are in the shade Cashew 3.5, so I haven't tested those out yet, but I definitely plan to. And thank you so much to Bare Minerals for sending those over. And then I was really excited when Shay and Blue reached out. They are a clean fragrance brand, and they asked if they could send over I almost said makeup, a perfume sampler pack. I am hoping to have a Instagram short about these already up, but thank you so much to Shay and Blue. I'm really excited about this sampler pack. So the 5 fragrances that came in the pack, we have the Salt Caramel scent. This to me is definitely more of a unisex scent and not my personal favorite. I don't love gourmand scents. I don't love super sweet scents. I don't love like a caramel scent that much, so I am gonna pass this along to someone who I think will get more use out of it, that maybe like I would like to smell but like don't want to smell it on me. I think this one might be my favorite. This is the Lilacs and Gooseberries. Let me do this one. Is it the one? Yes, I really like the scent of this one. I'm not a huge floral person, but the lilac in this just has a sort of like clean, fresh sort of scent to it. Maybe mixed with the gooseberries, it's giving like a little bit fruity as well. It's definitely very outside of a scent that I would typically reach for, but it is screaming springtime to me. So I'm really excited about this one. I am definitely putting this one on the fragrance tray, and I see myself getting a lot of use out of that. Then I have the Tallulas Camellia. I don't know how to sound spell. This one? Oh, come on. This one is an interesting scent. I do like this one. It is reminding me, it is like, it kind of has, it's reminding me almost of like those summer days when you're sitting on the beach and you're literally like sweltering in the sun. It doesn't smell like sweat, but it has that like hot, I don't know how to explain it. Hot, almost like, it's not even like a sunscreeny scent. I don't really know how to explain at all what I'm saying. but it literally, this would be a perfect summer scent. And I do enjoy this one. I could see myself getting a lot of use out of this as well. I don't feel like I have a lot of scents similar to this, but it is reminding me of a Bath and Body Works candle, and for some reason I feel like it's reminding me of like the cactus blossom candle. There is something that this is a very high heat scent to me. I'm excited to wear that one in the summer. Then we have the Melrose Apple Blossom, which I also really liked. Definitely has that sort of apple vibe to it, that kind of fruity sort of vibe to it, or fresh fruity. I feel like this is one that honestly could be worn all year round, and I'm excited about this one as well. All of these are like a little bit of outside of like what I would typically go for, so it's nice to kind of like expand. Ooh, now that I'm smelling that apple one more, I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna smell good on me. Like, I like how it smells, but like on me, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. And then the last one is Blood Oranges, and this one smells straight up like blood oranges. Yeah, it's very orange heavy, very like citrus peel sort of situation. I feel like this would be a good mixer. Like, I'm honestly, ooh, I feel like this in the fall time mixed with By the Fireside, it's giving like whiskey with like a citrus peel at the top. Would that be like a neroli? Trust me, I do not know anything about nerolis other than I know that BJ from Magnolia Parks sips a neroli, and that is like what I'm envisioning. So anyway, I'm very excited about these, you guys. I haven't really tested them on myself a whole lot, but all of them are very unique to my collection, and I'm excited to continue to test and try them. And I will come back to share like my thoughts with you in a future video. And then the only other thing that I have to share in this kind of section, I also do like any gifts or free gifts with purchase in this section. And so I did make an order on Sephora. I purchased the Lawless foundation on Sephora, and with that I did get this free gift with purchase. It's the Benefit Bad Gal Bounce Mascara. So I'm excited to give this a try. I don't necessarily want to, I don't really want to open it because I'm not like ready to open it yet to take a look at what the wand looks like, so we're not going to do that quite yet. But I also got this. And then moving on to the other beauty category, I have 3 products to share. So I am planning to finally touch up my roots. Like, I'm kind of embarrassed by the state of the hair right now, so please ignore. And so I just thought I'd share with you guys the hair dye I use. I personally just do an at-home box dye. I've box dyed my hair for so long. I used to want to be like a cosmetologist. I used to want to be a hairdresser. So I love to do my own hair. I probably ruin my hair. I do. I definitely do. But I've been using this for over a year now, or just about a year. I've been liking like leaning into the reds a little bit. So this is the Chocolate Cherry hair dye from the L'Oreal Feria line. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. And then another hair product, I did pick up the new Way Wave Spray. I believe this is new. I love the scent of Way products, and I am in need of a new wave spray. I love to do the French braids and then the like mermaid locks, similar to my Rolling Project 10 pan. That's what I like to do. And I have currently the Briogeo wave spray, I think it's a wave spray. I could be wrong. It's in like a yellow container, and I just don't feel like that's the perfect wave spray. Like, it's not giving me enough like stiffness and texture. So I wanted to try something new. So I just picked up the kind of deluxe size, deluxe trial size of the Way one. This is 3 fluid ounces, and I have used this once and I was really impressed with it off of first impressions, but I will continue to test and try. And again, I will come back and share like later thoughts with you. And then I needed another KP bump eraser, so I picked this up from First Aid Beauty. This is my personal favorite bump eraser. I am like the bumpiest bitch ever. Like, it's just really not cute at all. It's really not cute. So we rely heavily on this. That brings us to the palette portion of today's video, and I have 3 eyeshadow palettes to share. So the blues on my eyes today came from the Cosmic Brushes The Lovers eyeshadow palette. I whipped this out today, and I was like, at first thinking I was gonna do something with these 3 shadows, and then I was like, I'm feeling the blues. And then I was like, but because we're recapping February, should I go with, you know, the purples and the pinks up here? And then I was like, I'm feeling the blues. So then I was like, I'm gonna go for just this quad of blues. And then as I was creating the look, I was like, I better get use out of this shadow as well. Otherwise it's gonna, like, it's just gonna be that shadow that kind of sits around, because it has a bit of that tealiness to it that I don't always love. So I'm literally using these 5 shades for today's look, and I freaking love the way that it came out. You guys know I love blue so much. Super impressed with this. I also did a get ready with me using this eyeshadow palette, and I just used these 3 shadows right here. I was really impressed with the way that that look turned out. Loved that for work. It was a very, like, I felt very like appropriate for work for me and what I feel confident in. So I've been really enjoying this palette, which really comes as no surprise. I do still have the greens and the pinks to use in order to finish this palette, no pan left behind, and come on and give you my full thoughts on this. But so far I have really been enjoying that, and I'm very glad that I purchased that. Then I have the Monk palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. I was so excited about this because I really feel like I have this fantasy of wearing a lot of yellow eyeshadow. I love the color yellow. I love yellow, not necessarily for eyeshadow, but just in general, I love yellows, and I want to wear yellow eyeshadow more. So I was really excited about this. I like that we have like the fiery oranges in this as well, and I've had so much fun playing around with this. I think this is going to be such a beautiful palette for the fall time as well, just with some of the like golds and bronzes in there. I can see myself reaching for this palette the majority of the rest of the year. Like, it's not something that I'm going to be done testing and then just kind of put away. I feel like this is going to be a pretty heavily used palette this year. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I've really enjoyed my time with this so far, and I think the quality is excellent. As we know, Fantasy Cosmetica usually is. And then finally, I have the Morally Grey palette from Bella Vitae Bar. I absolutely love and adore this palette. I think it is so fun. I love that we're doing like a little 9-pan neutral palette. I will say I do find this one to be slightly one-noted, and it is pretty light. Like, even this shade right here is pretty light on the skin, so I don't think you're gonna get this like wide array of looks, but I love this special shade, as I always do with Bella Vitae Bar. I love this shade right here, this Not a Villain shade. It's kind of like this like blue silver slate sort of shade. It reminds me of a shade from my MAC Encrypted Kryptonite palette, and I feel like for like a smoky look for like a rock concert, this would be perfect. I really love the shade Indecisive. It is this really beautiful kind of lavender sort of special shade. I think it is absolutely stunning on the eyes. I'm so happy to have this. This is something I can see being more of a companion palette to me as well. I did mix and match this palette with my Chocolate Martini palette from Glam Light, and I really liked mixing those two together. So slightly one-noted, but I'm still really impressed with the special shades. I do really like the shade Mixed Feelings. It's kind of that like, you know, dusty pinky purple shade that I personally really like when I'm looking for a more mauve toned shadow. But just please keep in mind it is lighter and slightly one-noted if this is a palette you've been considering. Before we move on, I almost forgot 2 other beauty products that I purchased. I did re-up on my Peach and Lily Ginger Melts Oil Cleanser. This is my favorite oil cleanser of all times. I've gone through several bottles of this. I continue to just repurchase this at this point in time rather than like testing and trying different oil cleansers, just because I know this works for me so well. I love this stuff, and this is going to be a forever repurchase forever in my skincare sort of product. And then another hair care product I'm trying, you know, it may not seem like I'm trying to take my hair care too seriously. I would understand that you're not taking me serious when I say that, but you know, maybe this is the year that I want my hair to like improve slightly. So I have been looking for a dry shampoo that will work for darker hair, and I did hear Tati say that the Kristen S Brunette dry shampoo is the best for dark hair, so I did end up purchasing this. I've only used this one time. I did really like the scent of it, and I did not notice a cast, so I'm excited to continue to try this and get to wash my hair even less. I'm kidding, kind of. All right, you guys, makeup purchases. I have been setting aside a specific amount from each paycheck. I set up a whole new like checking account so that I can stick to a very strict makeup budget this year, but also like it's nice, like, because then like all of January I didn't really spend any money on makeup, and then February I was like, okay, I kind of feel like doing like a full face testing new makeup. I did also have some Ulta points to redeem, so I have quite a bit of makeup that I hauled in the month of February, and I honestly had so much fun like kind of picking up the products I wanted to test and try. There's quite a few foundations and there's quite a few lip products. So let's just get into it. We can start with the 3 foundations that I brought in. So up first, I have the Dior Forever Hydra Nude Foundation. I had no idea that this was releasing, but as I was kind of perusing the Ulta website, I saw this and I was a little skeptical at first because I love Dior foundations, but the one other Dior foundation that I've tried that had the white lid looked terrible on me. It was the Dior Forever Natural Nude Foundation. It looked so bad no matter what I did. So Hydra Nude definitely piqued my interest. I like something that's looking like a little bit like healthy fresh on the face, nothing too matte, but also nothing too glowy. And I typically love Dior foundation. So I was like, well, I gotta try it. I gotta try it. And I have been so impressed with this. It is like the Dior foundations I feel like I know and love. I don't know if I could like pick a favorite. I feel like between this one though and the Dior Forever Glowy, I would go with this one. And then like this and Dior Forever would just kind of go back and forth depending on like what sort of finish I wanted. This one is slightly more hydrating and glowy than the original Dior Forever, but I feel like this one is slightly less glowy than the glowy version, and this one lasts just a little bit longer on the skin, although both are very long lasting. But I don't feel like I would need to have this and Dior Forever Glowy. I do still have a Dior Forever Glowy. Wow, how many times can I say that? So obviously I'll work my way through that. But now that I have this in my collection, it kind of gives me permission to work my way through my older Dior foundation and know that I have another one in my collection. So been super impressed with this. Again, I will come back to do a full reckoning and give you guys more of like final thoughts on all of these products. But I did bring that in. I did also pick up the ABH Impeccable Foundation, and I've been enjoying testing and trying this. It is very thin, doesn't feel heavy on the skin at all, but I do feel like my skin looks pretty dry by the end of the day. For the first 6 to 7 hours, I really enjoy this. It just starts to really look dry towards the end of my day, so I'm continuing to test and try that. But I did bring that in. And then the foundation on my face today, which by the way, I'm also self-tanning, so I didn't want to bring my foundation down my neck just because there's self-tan on my neck currently. So if I'm looking all sorts of wonky, that's why. And this is the first day I have tried this one from Lawless. It's the Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation. Obviously I had to get the Lawless foundation. This is like pretty full coverage. I will say I was kind of surprised by the amount of coverage right off the bat. Again, this is my first time putting this on. I've only had it on for a couple hours at this point in time. I got the shade 4L. I was really struggling to figure out like what shade I wanted. 4L seemed like the best option, but I feel like this is a little bit darker than I would have liked. I can still make it work for me, and I will still make it work for me. I know the sun is coming in so strong right now, you guys. I'm so sorry. I tried to turn my ring light down slightly, but I don't know if it's helping literally at all. I was surprised by the coverage. And that's really all I can say about this off. Like, I really like it off of first impressions. I'll be curious to see how long it wears. But like in terms of settling into lines, I am not noticing that. And I feel like it looks very smooth and filtered on the face. So, you know, that's really just my first impression at this point in time. But I'm excited to keep trying that. I did also purchase the e.l.f. Skin Thirst Burst drops, the dewy and brightening drops. These just looked really interesting to me. There's something about like the blue packaging that really intrigued me, and ultimately I find that these really just are kind of a dupe to the Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Dew Drops, but I do find these to be quite hydrating. And if you're looking for a dupe or a less expensive alternative to the Glow Recipe, these are excellent in my opinion. This is kind of a random pickup, but at the end of 2024, my daughter and I were in Ulta and I swatched the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Luminous Perfecting Pressed Powder. And it looked so beautiful and glowy, and I do like my skin to be a bit glowy. And I wanted to try out a different finishing powder because I'm really only familiar with the Hourglass finishing powder. So I did pick this up, and I've used this several times. I don't know why I was picking my mirror up because I don't actually have this on my skin today. I don't really know like my thoughts on this quite yet. I don't feel like it's as glowy as the Hourglass, and so far I think I'm more of a fan of the Hourglass versus the Laura Mercier, but I'm going to continue and test and try it before I truly make that determination. I did end up picking up the Rare Beauty Liquid Contour. I wanted to do like a testing, like almost a full face of makeup, and I had been very intrigued by the new Rare Beauty Liquid Contours. If I didn't say, I got the shade Too Mellow, and I've really enjoyed the shade. It definitely reads more as a bronzer to me. Like, I don't find it to be this really like gray or like cool toned ashy sort of shade, and I think this is actually going to be beautiful for the summertime, especially when I am doing maybe like lighter coverage makeup but still want a beautiful bronze glow, because I love bronzing. So I'm really excited about this. I feel like I've used this just about every day since I've purchased this, whether it be underpainting or wearing it on top of foundation. I actually don't have it on today, but I have really enjoyed my time using that. And then I needed a blush, of course, for my full face of first impressions. So I picked up the new one from Urban Decay, and I picked up the shade Fleshed Out, which is this really beautiful kind of peachy, fleshy sort of shade. And last year I was really into more of like a nude, neutral, peachy sort of blush shade, so I thought this would be the perfect shade. This definitely does read quite, I'm gonna say fleshy. I feel like that sounds like a gross word, but I'm all here for it. It reads like a fleshed toned blush. It's not super pigmented on the cheeks. They do have some very pigmented shades. Like, they do have a range. There it is swatched right here, and I do test this in a first impressions video. It doesn't read super pigmented on the cheeks, which honestly I feel like I really enjoy, and I feel like it's going to be, again, perfect for spring, summertime. Maybe I'm doing lighter coverage makeup and want like a flush to the cheeks but nothing too pigmented. I think this is actually really beautiful, and I've really enjoyed reaching for this as well. I think I've reached for this 4 or 5 times since purchasing it. Like, I've had to tell myself to reach for other things, so I'm impressed with this. Also, this is like a matte blush, but it doesn't look so flat on the skin. I don't know, I've really enjoyed that. And then the final 3 purchases were all lip products. So I've been dying to try the ABH lip velvets for a while. I ended up purchasing the shade Pure Hollywood in hopes that this would replace my Dose of Colors liquid lipstick and Lazy Daisy. I don't think those two are quite like shade for shade dupes, but I have really enjoyed this. This is like my perfect kind of pinky nude, kind of mauve leading sort of shade, and I have been liking like a lip stain and a liquid lipstick and something with a little bit of color that's not just gloss on the lips. So I'm really excited about this. I would definitely be interested in potentially picking up more shades in the future as I continue to potentially lean into this interest in like liquid lipsticks or something more permanent on the lips. So we'll see what other shades they come out with. They do have a really beautiful one right now. I can't remember what shade it is, but it's like a darker brown. Definitely interested in that, maybe like fall time. I've been into a deeper lip. Speaking of a deeper lip, so I picked up the Topicals Slick Salve in the shade Acai, which is this really beautiful. I'll actually maybe put this on right now. I might regret this with the blue eye. Like, it could either be really pretty or just not really pretty at all. This definitely has like a bit of berryness to it, but I have been so inspired by the Fig shade from the Haus Labs PH Lip Glaze. Oh my gosh, I'm literally obsessed with that. I feel like this is looking a little like uneven on the lips. It's fine. I have been obsessed with Fig. That will be a forever, like, I hope that that never gets discontinued. I absolutely love that shade, especially paired with MAC Over the Taupe, that Powder Kiss. Ugh, love that combination. So I've been wanting something that gives like this kind of more earthy, like brown with like red sort of vibe to the lips, and I've just kind of been on the hunt. So as I was hunting through for similar things, I came across this. I've been enjoying this because it is a very hydrating lip product. My only thing is I feel like I like to look in a mirror when I apply this, just because it does have that berry like toned, just because it is berry toned, and I do feel like it takes rubbing the lips together a few times for it to look totally even, but it is this really beautiful, more berry colored lip shade. So hydrating on the lips. I would say this is ranking up there with the Ole Henriksen Pout Preserve. This doesn't have a scent to it though, so I might even like this one better than the Ole Henriksen. Like it might rank above Ulla Henriksen. It just might. So I've been enjoying this off first impressions, and I've also really been enjoying this product as well. And this is kind of a shock. This is from Kylie Cosmetics. It's the Lip and Cheek Blush Tint in the shade She's It. My daughter likes to like shop the Kylie Cosmetics area. Like it looks very aesthetic in our Ulta. And she was like looking around the Kylie Cosmetics area, and I saw this and I was like, oh, and I swatched it and it looked very similar to MAC's Over the Taupe, and I was like, I must have this. And this has that really beautiful, again, kind of earthy, reddish, berry brown sort of finish to it. I love this. This is a matte product, and I've only used this on my lip, and I only intend to use this on my lips. I don't plan to use this on my cheeks, but I'm really into this shade as well. So if you guys have any lip product recommendations for like a deeper lip product, please let me know. I do like to total the amount of makeup purchases that I made each month and track it over the course of the year. I do not count my other beauty products, and I do not, well, I have my palettes counted in a separate category. So I did end up purchasing 10 makeup products this past month, which is a lot. I do get that that is quite a bit of makeup, but I am really excited to include more reviews on my channel this year. So if that means I'm bringing in a little bit more makeup, as long as I'm sticking within my spending limits, I am okay with that. So that brings us to our makeup empties, and I am really excited because I do have 6 makeup empties to share with you guys today. One of them I know was sitting on my counter and I literally cannot find it, but it was the Mini Refi Lip Balm. I did finally finish that up, and I am going to count that in this month's empties because I'm sure it'll pop up right after I finish filming this video, and I'll be like, okay, well, there it is. So I did finish that up. Not my favorite. I personally would not repurchase that. I found it to be, it was like a clear gloss, but it felt gritty in terms of like, it felt like one of those products that just like kind of wore off really gloopy and then felt gritty on the lips. I was not a fan of that product at all. Personally, I would not buy it again. I can't remember if I got that free gift with purchase. I definitely didn't pay for it. I can't remember how I received that product though. And I'm excited to have 2 additional lip empties. I purchased so many lip products last year, and in this video I also hauled 3 lip products, so I'm excited to also be emptying out 3 lip products. So I have one of the Too Faced Kissing Jelly lip glosses. This one specifically was in the shade Sour Watermelon. This one did not have any of the glitter to it, and I personally prefer the glitter. The shade Bubblegum, I think, the sparkly pink one, is my favorite, and I know they have released a couple more sparkly shades, which I'm definitely interested in. I like the formula. I think it's really comfortable on the lips. Not the most long lasting, but truly does feel like a hybrid between a lip gloss and a lip oil, and does truly have like the scent of the product inside. My daughter currently has the cotton candy one. Sour Watermelon really did kind of smell like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. So I personally will continue to buy, like, I feel like Bubblegum will be a forever repurchase for me, but I'm not going to be repurchasing Sour Watermelon. And then I did finish up a little Laneige lip sleeping mask. So I'm very excited to have this moved out because I do count lip treatments in my makeup inventory as well. And actually I do have another lip product. I finally finished off my Colourpop lip liner in Golden Beach. It is an empty. There is nothing left inside. This took me forever. I panned this for years. I will say I haven't been the biggest lip liner wearer up until the last year or so, so I've definitely been more heavily focused on this within the last year, but I'm so freaking happy to finally have a lip liner empty. I'm motivated and encouraged to finish up a couple more lip liners this year, so we will see. I feel like I've been reaching for lip liner almost every day, and I just feel so happy to finally have a lip liner empty. I did also finish off my Evian facial spray. This was fine. I would not purchase this again. This was literally just water in an aerosol can that you spray on your face. I much rather MAC Fix Plus for melding and melting all of my powders together. I feel like that does so much more for my skin. I could literally just buy like a gardening spray squirter thing and mist my face and it'd be the same thing. So I'm happy to finally move this out though, because there was a lot in here and it took a while to get through that. And then the final empty that I have is my e.l.f. Lash Extender Mascara. I am a huge fan of this. It is a beautiful tubing mascara. does not transfer, really does a lot for my lashes in terms of length and separation. So I 100% will be purchasing this again. This and the Rare Beauty and the Ilia Limitless I think are my current top favorite mascaras, but I am trying to get through a couple other mascaras before I go repurchasing this, just because I've still a couple old mascaras floating around in my collection that I just want to move out of my collection, and then I'll rebuy this. It's not super expensive, so it's really not that. It's just a matter of wanting to get use out of my current collection, and then I will be repurchasing the e.l.f. Lash Extender. And after that, you guys, okay, my phone started ringing, so I'm back like 30 minutes later. But that is going to wrap up and conclude today's makeup rehab update for the month of February. I would love to know if February was like a big spending month for you, if you didn't spend it all, if you brought a new favorite in, if you purchased something that really didn't work out for you, let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.